Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
GR90 in under 2.5 minutes with 800 Paragon on the Barb starting set? Yes please. What's going on guys, it's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Today we're looking at the Might of the Earth, which is the starting set for the Barb for Season 21. The Slam Barb, which we're going to be taking, hits really hard, is incredibly tough and tanky, and is an absolute load of fun to play. But before we leap into it, Might of the Earth pun, come on, that's got to be worth a thumbs up. Before we leap into it, I just want to welcome anyone who's new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, or at least consider it if you do enjoy Diablo 3. I've got some more build videos coming very soon. Now, Might of the Earth is probably one of my favourite sets in the game. I've spent a lot of time playing Leapquake, although not so much Slam Barb. I kind of wish I had, because it is so much fun. Now, looking at the two-piece, we get a reduction in cooldown for Earthquake, Avalanche, Leap and Ground Stomp by 1 second for every 30 Fury we spend with an attack. The only one we care about there is Leap. We get 1 second in its cooldown reduced for every 30 Fury we spend. We spend tons of Fury and Leap is therefore available whenever we want it. That's great because on the 4-piece, Leap causes an Earthquake. This doesn't do much damage, but we do also get the Iron Impact rune on Leap. The rune's duration and effect are increased by 150%. So Iron Impact gives us 150% additional armor and lasts for 4 seconds. Both of those things are increased by 150% because of the 4-piece. That is just an absolutely huge amount of armor, makes this build very tough. 6-piece, we get an increased damage in Earthquake by 20,000 and Leap by 20,000. None of those two things matter too much. We do get Seismic Slam increase by 20,000 as well. The slams already on their own start to hit pretty hard, but when we add that to a Fjord Cutter, we can really start juicing things up. Seismic Slam attacks 50% faster and also deals up to 150% increased damage to enemies that are slowed or chilled. Now we will be getting off a chill when we hit with Seismic Slam because we're going for Permafrost on the rune. We also have the slow in the Bane of the Traps. If anything gets within 15 yards, it is automatically slowed. So that's modifier number 1. In the cube, we've got a Fury of the Vanished Peak. We reduce the Fury cost of Seismic Slam by 50%. Really handy, helps us keep our resource up. It also increases its damage by 500%. Next modifier we've got is Braces of Destruction. Seismic Slam deals 500% increased damage to the first 10 enemies hit. The idea is we slam, hit 10 enemies or thereabouts, crunch them into the ground, reduce the cooldown on Leap, leap into the next set, and just kind of go like that, and we kind of use Leap to get about the map. Now, we also take the Echoing Fury. This will give us a 5% move speed and 15% attack speed whenever we kill something. We can stack this up to 5 times for a total of 25% move speed and 75% attack speed, so we attack absolutely crazy bonkers fast. We've also got the Crimson set, so we get 20% cooldown on the 2-piece, which is great because we've got some really good abilities that we want near enough perma uptime on. We also get 20% resource cost reduction, which again is very handy for a Slam Barb. Now the 3-piece will give us extra damage for every cooldown roll we have, and every resource cost roll is more toughness. So absolutely incredible for the Might of the Earth Slam Barb. So this, with the set, is absolutely amazing. I'm going to take the Rogue in the cube to make up the 6 and 3-piece bonuses of the sets we've got on. Now we're going to take a Band of Might, which is going to do the heavy lifting on our toughness. We get 80% damage reduction after we leap for 8 seconds. We will be leaping very often, so this buff is always up. We're also going to take an Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Whenever we hit with a slam, because it is a spender, it will pick one of our abilities at random and take 1 second off the cooldown. So very nice. We've got a Flavour of Time, which is going to allow us to get double pylon duration. If you're wanting to make clears under 3 minutes, this is very handy because it means that if we get a power, a conduit, maybe a speed pylon, something like that, it's just going to make our life so much easier. These bonuses last for twice as long. Great item for speeding. Now with that in mind, we also got the Nemesis Braces in the cube. This just really helps out with progression. If you're wanting to do consistent 3-minute and under rifts, it's very hard to do it without taking the Nemesis Braces, so always try and work these in when I can. Now as for the legendary gems, we're going to take a Gogok of Swiftness. This is going to give us a 15% cooldown and attack speed buff when we get it to max stacks. I have it pretty much at max stacks the whole way. We also get a bit of dodge chance, which does help with sustain, or survivability I should say. We don't really need that, but obviously it is fairly helpful. Bane of the Trapped will give us a flat damage increase against anything other than a Juggernaut, so that's pretty good. And Bane of the Powerful, 20% increased damage after we kill our first elite. We also get more damage against elites and damage reduction from them, so pretty good. Now we're going to go for rubies in the chest piece and trousers, and this is going to give us a pretty decent damage increase over, say, taking diamonds. We can take these because the way armor works, because we've got this huge increase on the 4-piece Might of the Earth, every kind of point of strength we get is actually a lot more toughness because of the way the armor juices up through the 4-piece. So more damage and more toughness, which is great. You definitely want to take a topaz in your helm for the resource cost reduction. It will allow us to slam out with lots of them without any kind of problems. Seismic slam damage goes on your helm and also on your boots. Cold damage on your braces, and also if you could get it on your amulet, that would be handy. Other than that, you want cooldown just pretty much everywhere you can get it. After that, attack speed would be decent, double crit's decent, area damage is decent, all those kind of normal damage increasing stats really. Now looking at the skills in a bit of detail, Seismic Slam Permafrost, this does do the chill for us, which is great. Fairly decent damage on this rune as well, so this is how we're going to murder stuff. Battle Rage Bloodshed is going to give us 10% increased damage, 3% increased crit chance, lasts for 2 minutes, so you're only going to have to activate this maybe once during the rift other than at the very start. Now the way that the Bloodshed rune works is we get 20% of our recent crits to all enemies within 20 yards every single second, so this is a really cool detonation effect. You can just drag this with you and it will blow stuff up, which is great. Warcry Charge, we're going to gain 50 Fury whenever we activate this. Absolutely amazing. The Fury just means that we can slam some more, so we're going to numlock this and have this go off as much as possible. And a very short cooldown with the Zodiac, with all the cooldown we've got in the build, it's back very quickly. We pump our Fury up again, and then we can slam again, which is great. Wrath of the Berserker, no brainer for Barb. We're going to get crit chance, attack speed, dodge chance and move speed, as well as a huge 50% damage increase. We're not quite going to have perma uptime on this unless we get a cooldown pylon, but it's fairly close and it will be up quite a lot of the time. We don't necessarily need it up, we can still murder stuff without it, it's just obviously much more helpful if we do. Threatening Shout Falter, this is great for Fury generation, it's on a 10-second cooldown. We're going to numlock this one as well. What will happen is we also get 25% increased damage to anything that is within 25 yards. Great for the Rift Guardian, great for those Juggernauts because it just boosts our damage against them. As I say, Fury generation is kind of the theme of that and Warcry. Leap, obviously we get Iron Impact, so we're going to take the Call of Ariat. This will suck monsters towards us, which is great. The idea is that we can leap onto a group of stuff, drag it towards us, smash it to bits with Seismic Slam, reduce the cooldown on Leap, and then rinse and repeat, which is obviously pretty good. So Leap is great for mobility, it allows us to get around the map very quickly, even though we don't have much move speed in the build. Passives wise, Weapon Master, we're going to have a mighty weapon, so that is 2 Fury per hit. So on the character guys, very important that you put your Fjord Cutter in your left hand as you look at it on the screen, so the Barb's right hand. If you do this the other way around, like this, you don't get your Fury per hit, you need your mighty weapon to be here. Boon of Bolcathos, 30 seconds off the Wrath of the Berserker cooldown, just absolutely essential to try and get as near to perma uptime as you can. Ruthless, 40% additional damage to enemies below 30% health. Again, very helpful for Juggernaut and very helpful for the Rift Guardian. Obviously just general damage, but it's those two situations where this comes in absolutely clutch. And then Rampage, we get a 1% strength increase for 8 seconds after killing something. Stacks 25 times, so 25% strength, more damage, and again it's more armor for that 4-piece on the Iron Impact rune, so it really does help out with damage and toughness. Now, if I was being a little picky, I would say it would be nice to have a cheat death, but given the way that the build works, given that we've got the Band of Might, given that we've got so much toughness, it really is absolutely fine to play without it. Obviously, don't do that on hardcore. Do put your cheat death on, so you can swap out maybe Rampage for it, or what you could do is you could maybe drop your Flavour of Time for a Hellfire Amulet. But as I say, if you're playing softcore, this really does work pretty well. Now, how to play it, what I will do is I would numlock Wrath of the Berserker Insanity, because you just want it going off as soon as it's available. You want to numlock Warcry, and you want to also numlock Threatening Shout Falter. Now, I will link Lord Fluffy's numlock guide, just in case you don't know how to do that. Really good guide, so go check that out if you need to. As soon as you get in the rift, these things will go off, it will generate some fury, you can then pop Battle Rage Bloodshed, which you will only need to press again once during the rift. You're going to leap into some enemies to activate your Iron Impact, to activate your Band of Might damage reduction. You will then murder stuff with Slam. The leap will have dragged mobs towards you. Once they're murdered, the cooldown on leap is refreshed. You can then leap to the next set and murder them. And, you know, look for pylons, look for elites. It's a kill everything build, and if you get a good map, as I say, 2.5 minutes, and it is pretty fun. Now, in terms of Paragon points, guys, you're going to need some in Max Fury again just to help out and make sure that we've got enough to slam constantly. Move speed at 25%, and then everything in strength. Offense, cooldown reduction is very important. I mean, all of these are important, but cooldown obviously probably number one. For defense, all res is probably your number one pick, then life percent, armor, life regen, utility, resource cost reduction, area damage, life per hit, and then gold find you don't really care about. If you do want to farm keys with this, I would just simply put the Boon of the Hoarder in for the Bane of the Powerful and run it like that. You can maybe swap the Blood Rage rune to the one that gives move speed just to quicken it up a little bit in case you got a crummy map. But honestly, it's really easy to play for keys as well, and obviously pretty quick. I probably wouldn't bother working a gold wrap in, but I suppose you could do if you wanted. That's it, guys. This is an absolutely lightning quick start for the Barb. Really does smack content about, loads of fun to play. Special shout out to Lord Fluffy, who did a version of this build a couple of seasons ago, I think, so I've used that as a template, just tweaked it to make it a bit tougher and a bit more brainless to play. He's a great content creator, absolutely love the stuff. Other than that, guys, I hope you're staying safe. I will be back with some more Season 21 build-up material just as soon as I can. Take it easy. Peace.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head.